What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia weighs in on the possibility of four-division world champion, currently unified WBC, WBA super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, possibly facing off against former two-time undefeated super middleweight WBC world champion superstar boxer David Benavidez, right? This would be huge for the Mexican fan base. This would be huge for Mexico because you have two Mexican superstar boxers in David Benavidez, and we have another superstar, mega superstar, in Saul Canelo Alvarez facing off against one another. Saul Canelo Alvarez just defeated Callum Smith, British former undefeated WBA super middleweight world champion for the unification bout. Saul Canelo Alvarez just defeated him via unanimous decision 2 Saturdays ago. Okay, with that said, they fought for the vacant WBC title that was vacated by David Benavidez due to the fact that he missed weight in his last fight, and he was stripped of the belt on the scales. He lost the belt on the scales, and the WBC immediately put the belt up for Avni Yildirim, and Canelo Alvarez tried to petition to fight Avni Yildirim for the vacant WBC title. He ended up fighting Callum Smith for a unification bout, and the WBC decided to incorporate the WBC belt in that situation, in that equation, which saw Canelo Alvarez win the WBC belt. That is belt that was held by David Benavidez. David Benavidez has lost the belt twice now, without losing in the ring, ironically enough, right? He lost the belt because of activities outside the ring he was indulging in, and he was stripped of the title. And now, more recently, he was in a comeback fight due to the pandemic. He missed weight and he was stripped of the belt. But the WBC immediately appointed Canelo Alvarez the face of that belt. They immediately gave him the opportunity without him having a face. He should have the right thing to do should have been David Benavidez to face Canelo Alvarez for his vacant WBC title, right? But no, they immediately awarded Canelo Alvarez the vacant belt, the face-off against Callum Smith and Avni Yildirim. He'll face him in February. With that said, Mikey Garcia weighs in on the possibility of these two fighting. And ironically enough, Mikey Garcia utters the same sentiments I had when it came to Canelo Alvarez's victory over Callum Smith. He stated that it was a good victory. He said, but Callum Smith did not use his height. I stated that. I said Callum Smith had a 9-inch arm reach, 7-inch height advantage over Canelo Alvarez. He had a 79-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez has a 70-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez stands at 5'8". That's being generous. Callum Smith stands at 6'3". I stated that he didn't use any of his advantages in his fight. Thus, I stated that Canelo Alvarez faced a guy that did not simply put up any resistance, and he didn't try. And Mikey Garcia uttered the same sentiments. He tried to put it in as nicely as possible. He said he just didn't put up any resistance. He didn't use his height. He didn't use his reach advantage as much as he should have. He stated that he tried to be defensive. He laid on the ropes. He let Canelo Alvarez tee off on him. He stated that if he was to face David Benavidez, it's going to be an entirely different story. He says David Benavidez is a gangster, is what Mikey Garcia stated. He said, and David Benavidez, he said, don't get me wrong, it will still be a tough fight for Canelo Alvarez. It'll be a tough fight for David Benavidez. But David Benavidez is going to put up much more resistance than than Callum Smith did. It's going to be entirely a different fight. And Mikey Garcia can see David Benavidez winning this fight. David Benavidez is 23-0, 20 by way of knockout. He's 24 years of age. He's 6'2", and he has a 77-inch arm reach. So guess what? His arm reach is simply just as close. He's nearly as close to Callum Smith. Callum Smith is 6'3", he's 6'2". Callum Smith has a 79-inch arm reach. He has a 77-inch arm reach. So Callum Smith has an inch height advantage over David Benavidez, and he has 2-inch arm reach advantage over David Benavidez. But David Benavidez is 24 years old. He's much quicker than Callum Smith. He's much stronger. He has more power than Callum Smith, and he is ultimately he's going to have more bravado. He's going to put up more resistance, okay? He has more dog. He's going to come to win the fight. Like Mikey Garcia stated, he's not coming there to lay down. So Canelo Alvarez could get essentially a rude awakening. He says that it would definitely be a difficult fight for David Benavidez. It'll definitely be a difficult fight for Canelo Alvarez. Now, with that said, I think that maybe David Benavidez can overwhelm Canelo Alvarez. Mikey Garcia stated, and that's just my opinion, but Mikey Garcia stated that Canelo Alvarez has the edge in experience. He says, but that's not going to matter when you have the athletic ability and the want to and the will and the hunger that David Benavidez has. Not to mention, he has some of those similar traits that Callum Smith had and just didn't use, but he's going to use them. He's going to use his jab. He's going to be active. He's going to assert himself. He's going to use his power, right? He's not going to fold. He's not going to give up. He's not going to bend to Canelo Alvarez. He's not going to lay on the ropes and let Canelo Alvarez tee off on him. He's not going to, give up his advantages. He's going to essentially use his advantages. Now, one thing I would say personally about this fight, I'm going to favor Canelo Alvarez, right? Mikey Garcia seems like he's leaning towards David Benavidez because of the power, the reach advantage, the athletic ability, the skill set. David Benavidez is very fast to be that big, right? And he does have a lot of power. But I watched Anthony Durrell outbox David Benavidez, and he struggled. So I can see Canelo Alvarez outboxing David Benavidez. I think that Canelo Alvarez is quicker than Anthony Durrell. I think he's stronger than Anthony Durrell. The thing about David Benavidez that I don't like for him in this fight with Canelo Alvarez is styles make fights. His defense is lacking, okay? He gets hit a lot. You can see him get hit a lot, okay? He gets hit a lot in a lot of his fights. It's just that he just bounces back. He has so much will, so much bravado, so much confidence that he'll take it. But you got to be able to absorb what he's dishing out, okay? So he defeated Anthony Durrell, but he ended up getting he cut Anthony Durrell, and then that started to bother Anthony Durrell, and then he just overwhelmed Anthony Durrell until he got the KO victory. He knocked out Jalen Love, and the big one was when he beat Ronald Gavril, right? Because Ronald Gavril was pegged as going to be a superstar within the sport of boxing. And David Benavidez got a split decision victory over him the first time. Then in a rematch, he got a unanimous decision victory over Ronald Gavril. And so if you don't know about Ronald Gavril, you got to check him out. But David Benavidez fought in August 15th against Alexis Nguelo. And that was just a comeback fight. And the WBC didn't even give him an opportunity. They should have, due to the fact that we're dealing with a pandemic, dealing with the fact that boxing gyms was closed. Now understand, David Benavidez is a professional. You got to, find a way to stay in shape, find a way to stay active, because you're a professional athlete. But nonetheless, you have so many professional athletes that slipped in the pandemic. Is social distancing. There was curfews. All the cities was locked down. So it's understandable. Boxing gyms wasn't open unless you had a private gym. Now I'm sure David Benavidez had a private gym to his disposal, but he just didn't take advantage of it. Point blank and period. Right? And he's already a big guy. But like I said, his advantages is he has the similar arm reach. He has a 7-inch arm reach over Canelo Alvarez, and he has an 8-inch height advantage. A 6-inch height advantage over Canelo Alvarez. That's going to play a major part in this because he's fast, just as fast as Canelo Alvarez, but he's strong, right? So now you see, he has more power than Callum Smith. Okay, now when it came to Anthony Durrell is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. Okay, so he didn't have that much an advantage. Now he did have a inch height advantage, and he had a 2-inch arm reach advantage over Anthony Durrell, but not as much as he will against Canelo Alvarez, right? And so Canelo Alvarez is going to have to work extremely hard to get on the inside of David Benavidez. The difference is David Benavidez is coming forward. He's not taking step backs like Callum Smith did. Callum Smith took a lot of step back as soon as the bell rung. He gave up all his advantages. He leaned on the ropes. He was trying to be defensive, as Mikey Garcia stated. He was trying to be defensive, but at the same time being inactive. You're not going to beat Canelo Alvarez like that. So Mikey Garcia says David Benavidez is a gangster. He's a dog, right? He's going to bring it. He's coming. And I agree, right? But I do think that a part of that could be a downfall for him because he don't have that much defense. He gets hit far too much. Now, Canelo Alvarez is going to have to deal with what he's dishing out. But can he deal with Canelo Alvarez combinations and accuracy and his speed, okay? Because nobody's going to take a step back in this fight. So I'm truly interested to see how this fight would play out. But Canelo Alvarez, next 3 fights, don't include David Benavidez, unfortunately. Hopefully, David Benavidez has called Canelo Alvarez out. Hopefully, that doesn't fall on deaf ears. Canelo Alvarez seemed to be fighting Anthony Yildirim in February. Then it's being reported that he's going to face Billy Joe Saunders, WBO super middleweight world champion, British superstar boxer, in May, Cinco de Mayo. Hopefully, Mexican Independence Day weekend, we could get Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez or Canelo Alvarez against Jamal Charlo, right? But it looks like he's looking for that undisputed match against Caleb Plant, who's the IBF super middleweight world champion, undefeated superstar boxer. That's a great fight as well. I'm not mad if we get Caleb Plant in September, David Benavidez in September, or Jamal Charlo in September. But one of those 3 names needs to pop up in September because now it makes all the sense in the world to go ahead and fight Caleb Plant because I believe he's going to beat Billy Joe Saunders. He already holds 2 belts. He holds the WBC and the WBA. I believe he'll beat Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO. Then he needs one more belt, which would be the IBF from Caleb Plant, right? So that makes all the sense in the world. But Cinco de Mayo weekend against David Benavidez, or Mexican Independence Day weekend, second week in September against David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez will fight at the end of the year anyway. So if he fights and beats David Benavidez in September, so let's just lay it out. He could fight 4 times in 2021. He could fight Anthony Yildirim in February. Then he'll fight Billy Joe Saunders in May. And then he fights David Benavidez, in my opinion, in September. If he beats David Benavidez, he could fight Caleb Plant for undisputed in December. At the end of the year, close out the year, fighting 4 times and becoming undisputed in 2021. There's no question his place in history is solidified if he's able to run that gauntlet. You understand? If he's able to beat Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, Billy Joe Saunders, I'm not really, it's another fight though, Anthony Yildirim, fight 4 times and beat 3 world champions in 1 year, that speaks volumes. His legacy is forever cemented. He's historic. He would accomplish, he would have accomplished, a massive achievement, and everything else he does forward is just adding the cherry on top, right? His place in history is solidified at that point in time. Now, these are tough fights. You understand? And he still would be very young. He still will only be 32 years of age, 31 years of age, right? So then he got another massive fight with Jamal Charlo in 2022. Huge. Or you remove, David Benavidez in September and put Jamal Charlo in September, or you put Caleb Plant in September and Jamal Charlo in December. However you so choose, but it could work out perfectly for Canelo Alvarez if he follows that blueprint. So let's just see how this all plays out and unfolds. But I agree with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia puts Canelo Alvarez on warning and lets him know David Benavidez is not Callum Smith. He's coming to fight. He's not going to lay down. He's a dog. He's a gangster. And you best be on alert because he's coming to regain his WBC title. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.